Hi there, I'm Jeanette Lane for Die Cutting Essentials magazine, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use the Creative Corners 4-piece die set included in issue 52 of Die Cutting Essentials to do a little bit of stenciling. Here's a closer look at the Creative Corners die set, and it's really fun. There's two corner dies for you to play with. So we have one that's more masculine and then a floral design as well. And now it's great because you can create stencils or masks. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can also create all occasion cards. You can make beautiful banners. You can snip this. It's a very snippable die set. So lots of fun possibilities with this Creative Corners die set. So here's a peek at the card that I'm going to be making. So I created a full panel stencil from a corner die, which I thought was really, I thought it was going to be more complicated than it was. So I was happily surprised by how easy it is, and then also snipped into the floral corner die set and created some fun little floral embellishments to add to my card. So let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is create our stencil. So I have this corner die. This is the one that I'm going to be using. And you can use proper stencil paper to do this. I just used a piece of cardstock, so it was super easy. And you're going to need some washi tape as well to secure this to your cardstock before you run it through your die cutting machine. So I am placing that here in the center. And before you add your washi tape, you want to make sure it's not very tacky, so just go ahead and dab it on your jumper or on your jeans, just so that it doesn't get too sticky and accidentally tear your paper. And for my die cutting machine, I'm using a Sizzix Big Shot. So we're just going to put this right through our machine. So once you're done die cutting, you're gonna get some fun fallout, which you can save to do paper piecing in a different color if that is what you like to do. But I'll just remove my washi tape, and you can see that gorgeous panel, that gorgeous corner that has been created. So to create our stencil, all I'm gonna do is rotate my corner die here. So I'm leaving the washi tape on the die, and I'm just going to line this up as close as I possibly can to my die cut here. So I'm lining that up. You can kind of follow the design along the edge of the die to kind of place the die precisely where you need it to be. But there is a close-up of what that looks like. And now I can run this through, and this is going to create my full panel, which I can use for a background for a shaker card, or I can use it as a stencil, which that is what I'm doing. I really loved the effect. I always love when there's a die that's really versatile, and I love when we can do more than just, you know, die cut with it. You can create a stencil or a mask, and also a shaker, which is also really, really fun to do. So this is what our stencil looks like now, and it actually, I think I could have just budged that die edge a little closer, so there's a gap there, but I'm not too worried about it. It'll work just fine for what we need it for. I want to take a pause on the stencil and finish all of my die cutting just so I can have more room on my desk. So I'm going to grab the floral panel die, and what I'm going to do is die cut it from gold. So I have this scrap piece of gold cardstock, and I don't need much because I'm just going to snip into this die cut once I've die cut it. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to run that through. So there's my gorgeous floral corner. I'm going to set this aside for now because I don't need it quite just yet. I want to do my stenciling first, so I will save that for later and just clear my desk of all this gorgeous fallout. So it's time to use our stencil. So here is a piece of white cardstock that I'm going to stencil directly on. So I'm just going to secure this to my cardstock with some washi tape, just so it doesn't move around. I actually don't usually use washi tape for this. I just kind of put a death grip on my stencil and my cardstock, and it ends up being okay, but you know, I'll just make my life easier by adding that washi tape. Now for my inks, I'm going to be using Distress ink in Peacock Feathers. So I have my mini ink blending tool. just gonna pick up some of this color. Oops, sorry. So dab that onto my mini ink blending tool and then just run this, do little circles right over my stencil. Now for your inks, you can use different colors. I'm just sticking to kind of the blues and the greens. I want to keep this kind of monochromatic, so I'm not, you can use more than 2 shades if you like. You can use different colors, kind of make a vibrant background. It's completely up to you. I don't know, I'm just keeping it simple. So now I'm using Evergreen Bow. So this is a shade very similar to Peacock Feathers, but I don't know, I just felt it, I just wanted to keep it kind of tone on tone. So nothing too fancy, just adding some of that color. Okay, I'm happy with that, and now we can pull off our stencil and reveal the gorgeous pattern created by our corner die. Lovely! So that is what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim this excess, and I want to leave just the tiniest little border around my stencil, just to add, like, draw our attention to the gorgeous stenciling. So I'm just trimming this down, and I'm going to save the excess because I wanted to use that for my snipping, not my snipping. Well, yeah, actually, when I do a little bit of snipping into my die cut. Why was that so difficult for me to say? I am not sure. I apologize. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That looks good. And now I'm going to go back. Maybe I'll use this piece. So I'm going to glue this behind my panel here. And yes, it's a little haphazard. These are scraps. I'm not worried about it because after I glue this down and let it dry, I'm going to snip into it and grab these larger florals to add them as embellishments to for my card front, sorry. Now for my adhesive, I'm going to be using Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue. So just putting a little bit behind the florals here. And then we're going to glue that onto our white piece of scrap paper. So this is what my little panel looks like now. And then I'm going to just fussy cut right around this flower here and around this one and this one and this one here, being very careful not to go over any of the other designs. So we're just going to snip right into it. And we want to follow the line here along the edge. And we don't want to lose the leaves here on this flower. And we're just going very carefully around the leaves, around the design that you want. So that is what my first flower looks like. And then that will go on my card front there, and then I can snip into these other flowers. And these are more simple because they don't have any leaves attached to it. And you just want to keep an eye on what it's very easy to snip an important element when you're doing this kind of fussy cutting. So just be careful, take a second and just look at your overall design and see exactly where you want to die cut, because there's so many times, where you want to cut, there's so many times where I've accidentally cut leaves off that I wanted. I'm like, oh no, I didn't do that right. So it's very easy to get distracted by the rest of the beautiful die design. So just keep an eye out, go slow. This is such a therapeutic part, just cutting these gorgeous little elements. So there is my second flower, and I'm just going to complete the rest of this. So I have my stencil background, my little flower embellishments that I've made also from the corner die set, and also my card blank here. So before I assemble everything though, I want to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to be using this one. It says thanks, and this is from the special reader offer inside of Die Cutting Essentials. So these are the wiry words. So there's 8 gorgeous stamps that you can send for. All you have to do is pay P&P, and all the details are inside of issue 52. So we're just going to grab our stamp block, and I'm going to stamp this with VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. And I'm going to go with the thanks sentiment. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the lower right hand corner of my card. And again, I'm using VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. So now I can assemble the rest of my card. Now to mount my card front, my stenciled card front, I'm going to be using some Sticks to Tape Runner. And we're just going to center that stenciled background onto our card base. So that's what that looks like. And then we're going to mount our little flower embellishments. And I have some foam dots for this, just to add a little bit of dimension to them so that they really pop off the page. So here is what our card looks like now. And I wanted to add just a little bit more embellishment to my card front. So I'm going to be using these enamel dots by Crafters Consortium. This is from the Riverbank collection. And I'm just going to add some pearls. Oh, sorry. Not pearls, they look like pearls. They're enamel dots. So I'll put one there, one here, and maybe just one right there. And I'm all done with my card. I hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Die Cutting Essentials 52 so you can get that gorgeous 4-piece Creative Corners die set. I'm Jeanette Lane for Die Cutting Essentials. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you real soon.